Hello everyone. Today for the 2025 sampler blanket we are making square number 34 and it is called the Lilac Stitch. This is another stitch that I have never seen before. However, I have done this 2-row repeat in some other patterns. It just didn't have the name of the Lilac Stitch. So now we know what it's called. Let's go and get into it. The materials that you need are your yarn. I'm using Stylecraft Special DK, which is an 8-ply, a corresponding hook. For me, that's a 4mm. You'll need scissors, darning needle, and a ruler or tape measure so you can keep track of the length and the width of your work. I just want to show you this measurement before you begin your square. There's no use making a square up that works out too small and having to do it all again. So initially I started with 3 times 7, which is 21 plus 2. So 23 chains. And normally that would be a-okay with my need for a 12cm square. The first row was fine, the single crochets, but then as I began doing the pattern, the work shrunk in. So I found it being 11 centimetres. So I've pulled it all undone and I've started with 26 chains this time. So 3 8s are 24 plus 2, 26. And of course the single crochet row is a little too long, but I can't change that because the rows above are perfectly fine at 12 centimetres. And then I have worked, directly 12 centimetres in length as well. So I hope this helps you to decide on how many chains you might need. Because of this style of this pattern, you need more than you think you will. Okay. I'm using US terminology for this project. And our chain needs to be divisible by 3 plus 2. I'm going to do 3 8s are 24 plus 2 is 26 to try and get the right size. So holding your yarn in your right hand, making a loop around 2 fingers, pull that loop through and there you have a movable slip knot. Yarning over and pulling through the loop on your hook for your chain. Now go off and make the amount of chains that you need and I'll see you back here soon. Now our first row is going to be a row of single crochets into each chain. We're going to be working into the second chain from the hook, not counting the loop that's on your hook. We count back 1 and 2. I'm working in the back bump. That's just my preference and you can work in the front of the chain if you would like to. So popping your hook into the second chain from your hook, pop your yarn over, pull a loop up, yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Now again, popping your hook into the chain, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So go along and make a row of single crochets. This pattern has a 2-row repeat, which doesn't include this single crochet. So we're going to do 2 chains and turn our work. This 2 chains is considered a half double crochet. So we need to skip 2 more stitches. So not the one below, but 1 and 2 after that. Now we're going to make a half double crochet V-stitch in the 3rd stitch. So yarn over, pop your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Now chain 2. We're going to do another half double crochet into that same space. Pop your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Now we're not going to do a chain here. We're going to skip 2 stitches and work a half double crochet into the next. 2 chains and a half double crochet. Skipping 1 and 2, doing a half double crochet, chain 2 and a half double crochet. Skip 1 and 2, half double crochet, chain 2 and half double crochet. Now we're going to skip 1 and 2 and do a half double crochet into this last stitch. Now heading to row number 2, we need to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to be doing 3 half double crochets into each of these V stitches. So yarn over, pop your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops. That's 1, 2 and 3. Simply going along and doing 3 half double crochets into each chain space of the V stitch. 1, 2 and 3. That's nice and easy. I'll see you at the end of this row. Now we're at the end of our row and we're going to do another half double crochet into the top of that second chain from below. So yarn over, find your chains, there's 1 and 2, popping your hook into the top one, pulling a loop through, yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Now we're going to make chain 2 again, and we're going to go back to our first row repeat, which means skipping, all right, you've got the stitch below your chain, but skipping 1 and 2 after that, you're going to work in to the next stitch. So yarn over, we're going to do a half double crochet, we'll do 2 chains and a half double crochet back in that same space to make that half double crochet V stitch. Skipping 2 stitches from below, popping your hook in, making a half double crochet, chain 2 and a half double crochet. This is just a lightly lacy square, this one. I wanted to do one to match up with its sister that we did in our last round of squares. So pop along, making your V stitches, and I'll see you at the end. At the end of your row, we're going to do the same thing and put a half double crochet into the top of that 2 chain that we made in the row below. We're going to chain 2 and turn our work. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets into each V stitch. Yarn over, pop your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches to make that half double crochet. Do 3 in each V and I'll see you at the end of the row. Now we're going to do a double crochet into the top of that chain 2 from below. Chaining 2, turning your work. Now we need to skip 2 stitches. So you've got a stitch at the very bottom of that chain 2, now skipping 1 and 2 and working into the 3rd with a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, skipping 2, working into the next with a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. This is so nice and easy. I'm going to leave you here and I'll meet you back at the end of the row. I'm just popping my last half double crochet in the V stitch. Now I'm doing a half double crochet into the top of that chain 2 from below. I'm chaining 2, turning my work and going straight into that V stitch with 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Into the next one, 1, 2 and 3. Into the next with 1, 2 and 3. Righto, let's go along with our 2 repeat rows and I'll see you at the end of our square. Now I'm at the end. I'm going to snip my yarn off, pull that loop through. I will darn my yarn ends in and be back with you soon. And here we have our finished Lilac Stitch square. It's a lightly lacy square, which can be a sister square for the last one that we made called Quick Shells. Rightio, I will see you again really soon in another video before I do 2 more of these sampler squares, and the year is very quickly ticking along, isn't it? I'll see you soon. Happy crocheting, everyone. Bye for now.